Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I'm back again and I'm going to be on your screens throughout the next 2 weeks. So if you're not keen on it, maybe check out a different channel. Anyway, let's get to it. US Open men's, featuring, of course, Carlos Alcaraz trying to retain his title. Novak Djokovic going for Grand Slam number 24. And of course, US Open number 4. Incredible feat that would be. Or Meddy, Danny Medvedev, to repeat the 2021 trick. And maybe we'll see him flop over on the court in celebration once more. Or maybe Holger Rune or Stefanos Tsitsipas. Or Dominic Thiem. What about that? Okay, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Alcaraz to knock out Koepfer. Let's go with Lloyd Harris to prevail over Pella. Let's go with, although it should probably be Peja, or even in Argentina, Peja. How about that? Let's go for Jordan Thompson over Botic. Botic is having a pretty horrible year ever since he blew those match points earlier on at a 250, I think it was, against Holger Rune. Let's go for Dan Evans over Galan. Just uploaded a video of Dan Evans in practice. Check that out when you get the chance. Let's go for Talon. No, let's go for Artur Fils to upset. Would that be an upset over Talon Griekspoor? Let me know in the comments below. Let's go for Arnaldi over Kubler. Let's go for Kokinakis over Su. Let's go for Cam Norrie over Shevchenko. But Cam Norrie, since his Rio heroics earlier on in the year, has been struggling. Zverev over Vukic. Let's go with Altmaier over Lestienne. Andy Murray to get to the second round, which is, I think, where he got last year before he lost to Berrettini. Let's go for Dimitrov over Molchan. And let's go with Echeverry over Verbensky. I hope I'm saying that name right. Let's go with Wawrinka. I think, yes, let's go with Wawrinka there. Let's go with Sonego. Yannick Sinner to beat Hanfman, Medvedev to beat Balash, Purcell to beat O'Connell in the clash of the Australians there. I think Nishikori is pulled out from memory, so let's go with Silva to prevail. Let's go with Borna Coric to get revenge over Sebastian Baez. Thoughts on that one? Let me know in the comment section below. Nicholas Jarry to beat Van Asch. Let's go with Mickelson, the wild card over Ramos Vinolas. Let's go with Yibing Wu over Dusan Lajovic. Alex de Minaur to beat Skatov. Let's go with Khachanov for coming back from injury over Mo. I say coming back from injury just gradually. Hasn't played many matches in the last few months. Let's go with John Isner to get a win. One more win to see out his career. On home territory, Jack Draper. I know there's a lot of injury concerned over him, but let's say he wins. Hurkacz to win. Berrettini to beat Humbert. Rinderknech or Schwartzman? Rinderknech. Sorry, Diego. Let's go with Tara. No, let's go with Gael Monfils over Tara Daniel. Andre Rublev over Rusevor. He's to gain revenge for his recent loss in Cincinnati, but that'll be a close one. Casper Ruud over Emilio Nava, but actually that could go either way for last year's finalist. This one's going to be a close one too, but we'll go with JJ Wolf on home territory over Jing Zhang. Let's go with Hijikata, the wild card, to beat Kotov. Sebi Korda to beat Fucsovics, as he did last week in Winston-Salem. But let's go for 4 sets rather than, I think it was straight sets he won in last week, didn't he? Manarino over Watanuki, but that one could be a close one. Gasquet over Malarash. Borges over Offner. Tiafoe over Tishman. Tommy Paul over Travaglia. Of course, Tommy Paul and Tiafoe were in Damien's quarterfinals. Be interesting to see if I repeat that prediction. Let's go with Safiullin over Cecchinato, but that really could go either way. Let's go for Ivashka over Cerundolo. Ditto. David Fokina to beat Giron. Hopefully, David Fokina's overcome the back troubles that he had recently in Cincinnati. Remember, he retired hurt against Novak Djokovic. Bublik or team? Bublik or team? Bublik. Ben Shelton to knock out Kashin. Lehetska to beat Karatsev. Holger Rune to beat Carballes Baena. Tsitsipas to beat Reinich, but I know a lot of people are on upset alert there. Let's go with Popperin over Stricker. Let's go with Hallis over Bonzi. Eubanks over Kwon. Musetti over Lamassine. That's the wrong Jakob, but let's go with Jakob to beat Barrer. Let's go with Kecmanovic over Varias. Taylor Fritz. Oh, Mackenzie McDonald against Felix. Let's go with Felix. Try and get another win under his belt this year. He's another one who struggled a lot with 1 or 2 injuries earlier on in the year, but also I don't think he's won a title yet this year. He's struggling to win matches at the moment. Let's go with Gojo over Delien. Let's go with Coco over Vesely. Let's go with Sarundalo, Francisco over Svida. Let's go with Nakashima over Les Leger. Let's go with Sekiguchi over Gaston. Zapata Morales and Novak Djokovic to go through. Back to the top of the draw. Carlitos Alcaraz, where are you, my friend? You are here. Lloyd Harris. Well, unlucky Lloyd Harris, because I think you're losing to Carlos. Jordan Thompson, Dan Evans. Let's go with Jordan Thompson in that one. Yeah. Dan Evans had a great win in Washington, but has struggled since. Let's go with Artur Fils over Arnaldi. Kanoy or Kokinakis. Let's go Kokinakis in that one. Let's go with Zverev, knock out his compatriot Altmaier. Let's go with Dimitrov over Andy Murray. Sorry, Andy Murray fans. Let's go with Vavrinka over Echeverry. Yannick Sinner over Sonego. Sinner loves it in New York. A couple of quarterfinals there already. Let's go with Medvedev, the hard court specialist over Purcell, but that could be a close one. Let's go with Chorich there to get to the third round. Of course, won in Cincinnati last year. It has struggled to repeat those heroics since. Let's go with Jari over Mickelson. Let's go with Wu over De Minaur. That would be an upset. Hachinov over Isner. Hurkacz over Draper. Berrettini over Rinderknech. Rublev or Gael Feast? Let's go with Rublev over Monfils. Casper Ruud over JJ Roof, but that could be close. Korda over Hijikata. Manarino or Gasquet? Manarino, all French affair. Let's go with Tiafoe over Borges. Tommy Paul over Safiullin. David Fokina over Ivashka. Bublik or Shelton? Let's go with Shelton over Bublik. That'll be an entertaining one. Rune or Lehetska? That's a great second round. I'll go with Rune there, but with each match, Rune wins. Tsitsipas to beat Popperin. Eubanks to beat Hallis. Musetti to prevail over Jakob. Fritz over Kecmanovic. Felix over Gojo. Francisco Sorondolo over Kokor. Nakashima over Sekiguchi. And Djokovic over Zapata Morales. Djokovic, by the way, what a lovely, lovely, lovely draw for Novak. As he seeks Grand Slam number 24 and US Open number 4. Alcaraz to beat Jordan Thompson, but that could go 4 or 5. Let's go with Fils over Kokinakis. Let's go with Zverev over Dimitrov, but that will be close. Yannick Sinner to beat Wawrinka, maybe in 5. Medvedev to beat Chorich, but that could be a tasty affair as well. Let's go for Wu over Jari. A nice draw for Wu, seeing him progress into the second week. Let's go with Hurkacz over Hachinov. Let's go with Berrettini over Rublev. Let's go with Sebi Korda to knock out last year's finalist Casper Ruud. Tiafoe to beat Manarino. David Fokina to knock out Tommy Paul. So I do differ to Damien on the quarterfinal lineup in that section of the draw. We'll go with Holger Rune over Ben Shelton. And we'll go with Tsitsipas over Eubanks. Of course, I think Eubanks beat him at Wimbledon this year, so Tsitsipas getting some kind of revenge there. We'll go with Taylor Fritz over Musetti, and we will go with Felix over Cerundolo. Not a bad draw for Felix, I would suggest. And Djokovic to beat Nakashima to go into week 2 as he bears down on Grand Slam number 24. Did I mention he was going for Grand Slam number 24? Okay, Alcaraz over Fils. For me, Alcaraz wins that one fairly comfortably. Zverev Sinner. 3-1 is the head-to-head in favor of the German. But I'm going to go with Jannik Sinner. Going to go with Sinner. I know Gil Gross has gone Zverev in this affair, but I'm going Sinner. Medvedev against Wu. We'll go for Medvedev. I'm not sure, did they play each other last year at the US Open? Hurkacz or Berrettini, it's Hurkacz for me. The modern day Hurkacz as opposed to the previous one. Also the modern day Berrettini, who's not quite reached the heights of where his tennis was at a couple of years ago. I'm going to go with Sebi Korda over Francis Tiafoe in the All-American affair. And David Fokina or Holger Rune. David Fokina. Tsitsipas or Fritz, will go with Fritz in that one. And we will go with Novak Djokovic to beat Felix Auger-Aliassime, which I think would have been a test for Novak a couple of years ago or even a year ago. But where Felix is at right now, there's only going to be one winner in that encounter. Okay, Alcaraz up against Jannik Sinner, a repeat of last year's epic quarterfinal. I'll go with Alcaraz to win that one. Medvedev up against Hurkacz. Medvedev, Hurkacz, Medvedev. Let's go with Hurkacz to knock out the the winner of 2021, the Australian Open finalists of 2022 and 2021. So not going to be reaching another Grand Slam final until 2023. That'll be 2 years since his last Grand Slam final, 2024, sorry. Of course, that was against Rafa Nadal at last year's Australian Open. Sebi Korda up against David Fokina. My goodness me, one of these guys is going to be in the semi-finals of the US Open, which probably is just because that quarter is probably the weakest. Sebi Korda. Let's go Sebi Korda to get to the semi-finals. Let's go with Fritz or Djokovic. So, that is that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, back to the top. Alcaraz, semi-final against Hubert Hurkacz, a repeat of their Cincinnati semi-final. I think this time Alcaraz will find it a bit more comfortable, especially over the course of 5 sets than 3 like he did in Cincinnati. And down in the bottom half, we will have Sebi Korda against Novak Djokovic in a repeat, of course, of their Adelaide final. And at that time, Sebi Korda was playing the best tennis of his career. I expect Djokovic to prevail, and we will have a repeat final as we had in Wimbledon, the last Grand Slam, but of course also the last big tournament, which was in Cincinnati. And my winner of this year's US Open is going to be Carlos Alcaraz again. Carlos Alcaraz to beat Novak Djokovic, perhaps in 5 sets once again, just like at Wimbledon. And that concludes my draw prediction for the US Open. Everybody, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.